So, medical professionals do not count home births as deliveries. Okay? If you have a home birth, it is not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Read your Bible. Bible. Just don't read your Bible. I don't understand. Just don't read your Bible. I don't understand.
So, one day, this lady walked up to her pastor, and she told her pastor, like, hey, I'm leaving the church. I'll be leaving the church. The pastor asked, "What's going on? Why are you leaving? Is there something I can help with?" And so she goes on to say that, every time she goes to church, you know what I'm saying, there's always people on the phone. There's people talking, and you know what I'm saying. She just can't focus on church because there's so many distractions in church, so that she just can't focus. So the pastor says, "Can you do one thing for me before you leave?" She agreed. So he asked her to grab a spoon, fill that spoon up with water, and then walk through the church and try not to spill the water. She was like, "Okay, that's fine. I can do that. So she goes, she gets a spoon, she puts water on the spoon, and she walks around the church. And she comes back around to the pastor. He asked how it go. She was like, "Oh, it's cool. I didn't drop anything." He asked her, as you was walking around the church, did you notice anything? Did you notice people gossiping? Did you notice people on their cell phones? Did you notice anything? She was like, "No, I was so focused on not spilling the water that, I wasn't worried about anything else." So he was like, "Exactly. We don't come to church for people. We come to church to know God and to focus on God. As long as you stay focused on what God is doing, that whatever else is going on around you, whatever people are doing that's around you, all the gossiping and all this other things, it doesn't matter because you are focused on God and what God has for you, that the things around you is not even there. It's not even, you don't even notice these things because you're so honed in on what God has for you and getting what God has for you that none of this other stuff matters." And there's so many distractions in this world. There's so many distractions in church. But if you stay focused and you just hone in on what God has for you and getting that message of God, nothing else matters. You won't even notice other things. Alright? So let's focus on God. Let's zoom in on what God has for you and what God has planned for you and the word that is planned for you today. And let's receive that in the name of Jesus. Let's get it going.